Hey folks, welcome to another episode of Gun Guys. You know, every once in a while we get a chance to kind of preview or promo something new from WilsonCombat. And this has got some historical significance, and I think it's pretty cool. And Bill's going to tell us about a new product and the history behind it. Hang in and watch this one. It's pretty interesting, folks.
Ken, what we've got here today is it's our 45th anniversary in business this year. And this is a 45th anniversary 1911.
Cool.
And what we've done here, we basically tried to retro the gun as much as we can back to a deluxe gun that we would have built, you know, in the late 70s, early 80s. We went to quite a bit of trouble to create this gun because the components that people used then are different than the components that we use today. So basically we took a MS Safari Arms beaver tail, which was the first beaver tail ever.
Yep.
And reverse engineered it and made a fully machined bulletproof beaver tail to the exact same dimensions. Same thing with the ambi safety. These ambi safeties are machined from solid bar stock, but the dimensions are identical to the original Swinson safeties that was vogue back then. We got a clone of a Bomar sight, you know,
low
mounted Bomar sight that was, you know, what was done back there. And of course, back then, nobody dovetailed the front sight in. That you know,
they were either staked or silver soldered.
They were staked or silver soldered.
Well, how's this one held on?
Well, this one's held on basically the same way as the X9 sight or a Glock sight. It's got a screw on the bottom of it.
Cool.
You know, to hold it on there, but it does look really clean.
Yep.
You know, with it like that, and you know, we just tried to duplicate. We got the coarse serrations on the top that we did back in the.
What we called the Packmeyer serration.
Basically, the Packmeyer serrations are on the top of the slide there. The markings on it are retro. I don't know if you see this with the camera, but we got retro markings there on the side.
Oh yeah, with the eagle.
With the old eagle and everything. Deluxe blue on it. Straight grain ironwood grip panels on it, you know, to give it a really classy look to it. Our 3-hole trigger that we've done from pretty much day one.
That kind of became a trademark with WilsonCombat.
Yeah,
the 3-hole trigger.
Pretty much, yeah. Also, this has got a WilsonCombat match barrel in it. This gun's limited to a total production of 450 guns, and all those guns are already sold to our dealers.
Wow.
So if you want one, you need to go to one of the WilsonCombat stocking dealers, because they'll be the ones that either have or will be receiving these guns.
I noticed, like back in the day, it's got a guide rod.
Yeah, it's got a full-length guide rod. So you've got the full-length guide rod to it. You know, because that was like a 130 Master Grade, our top of the line back in those days. We always had a full-length guide rod.
And that was before magwells were around.
Well, there wasn't any magwells back at this era, so that's why it doesn't have any large magwell.
And 30 LPI.
Yeah, 30 LPI checking on the front.
That's the way it was.
Yeah. So anyway, it's as retro as we were able to recreate.
Proper era mag too, plastic base plate. Yeah. Nice bevel job. Flat mainspring housing, no bump on the grip safety because they didn't have them back
then. Like I say, we exactly duplicated that old MS Safari beaver tail.
That is a really cool gun. If you had this gun back then, this would have been a dream gun.
Oh yeah.
Because they weren't quite this nice. And let's face it, back then they were basically built on Colts or maybe Springfield Armories. It took some creativity to make those guns right.
Oh yeah, I mean, as you know, that era, you know, the two big dogs were Packmeyer and Swinson, and you know, I mean, they made great stuff, and especially for the era and everything, but they never made a gun as nice as that.
Oh no. This is absolutely a gorgeous, and I have to admit, we know from hard use standpoint, a blued gun does show wear, but man, there's nothing prettier than a nice blued 1911, especially when it's done like this. I mean, that is beautifully. It's got like the matte subdued edges, but the flats are polished and nice. The grips are gorgeous. All I'm going to have this smooth grip on it.
All the 450 will have this straight grain desert ironwood, but then
Commander hammer.
It's basically retro to an actual Colt Commander hammer.
That is so cool. Wow. kind of takes us back in time a little bit. If you'd had this in your holster, if you'd had that Thunderbolt holster of mine with this in it, you'd have been the man. Well, I can see why these things are, shall we say, going fast, because this is, not only is it kind of a piece of history, it is a really nice gun.
Yeah. Well, it's a 45th anniversary, 45 caliber gun, you know.
Yeah, oh, as it should be.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, the markings are just spectacular. Yeah, that's gorgeous. Yeah, I think most people, if you're a 1911 fan, would have a hard time saying no to owning one of those.
Yeah.
Well, there's another one here that we're going to talk about. And this is, in essence, if I understand correctly, what is going to be called a Supergrade edition of it?
Yeah, this is the Supergrade version of the 45th anniversary.
How many of these will be available?
Be 45 of them made.
Whoa.
Yeah, this is limited to 45 guns. Actually, I'll just kind of highlight the differences between it and you know, for lack of a better term, the standard grade.
Okay.
This one's got the Wayne D'Angelo hand engraving on it. It's got an actual hard chrome frame. It's not a stainless frame. This is actually a hard chrome frame, which is what was in vogue.
Back
you know,
then.
the two-tone look like this.
That was the gun.
This is what was popular in the late 70s, early 80s. The two-tone gun, and the, you know, all the high-end guns back then were all built with Barstow barrels.
Yep.
These 45 guns actually have a Barstow barrel instead of the Wilson barrel. You know, I don't think they're better, but this is a retro project, and to make this more period, these 45 guns actually have Barstow barrels in them. It's got all the other same features as the standard one, but except for the grips. We're doing burl ironwood. We're doing the burl ironwood.
The grain on it is pretty spectacular.
It's more of a burl grain than the straight grain ironwood on the other gun.
And it's got engraving on the frame as well, I noticed.
Yeah, there's engraving on the frame and on the slide both. Yeah, on the other side there, like so.
I'm going to guess there's a lot of thought and work that went into making these guns to be, shall we say, period-looking guns.
Yeah, well, the first and hardest part of it was to decide what we were going to do for a 45th anniversary gun.
Yeah,
You know,
well, I think
but once we made the decision it was going to be a retro gun, then it was just work. It was, you know, basically we knew what we needed to do. Now we're going to figure out how we can do it.
Yeah, and I think it was a wise choice as far as what you chose for your 45th.
Yeah, I think so. And like I say, these guns are limited to 45. There'll only be, you know, ever 45 of them made. So it's an instant collector's item.
Oh yeah.
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 But,
if you wanted to buy a gun to hand down to, you know, somebody in your family as an heirloom, or basically kind of a 401k item, it'd be a great piece of kit.
This would be either one of them be a candidate for it. I mean, you know, there'll never be any more of those after this one run either. So, so folks, anyway, that's kind of what we've done special here for our 45th anniversary, and you know, give you a preview of it a little bit. And if you're interested in one of them, you know, contact your WilsonCombat, you know, stocking dealer. They're all listed on the website, I believe. Anyway, we appreciate you tuning in. Be sure and hit that subscribe button. And if you have comments, be sure and go down to the comment section. And stay safe. Get on the range as often as you can. And we'll catch you next time.